It is your boy T with another Have You Seen That with T movie review, and today I'm reviewing The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. I repeat, The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. So when I first saw the title for this movie, I thought it was a joke, right? I guess I'm just not used to having these, when the blackening, when I first heard that, I thought it was a joke. First time I saw the trailer for Get Out, I thought that was a joke because we just don't have these nuanced black stories being released theatrically. And while this movie, I don't think was a worldwide theatrical release, it was produced and distributed by Shudder. So I think it is a Shudder exclusive. I did purchase it through iTunes. But what a movie, right? So I kept hearing a buzz about the movie once I saw the name and I thought it was a joke. So I started looking online. I saw the trailer for it and it was beautifully shot. I will say some of the dialogue, I don't like these movies where we're trying to convince people are smart by saying big words and using these scientific words. Maybe people that intelligent speak like that, but my brain doesn't comprehend people speaking like that, right? So a lot of the beginning, we're trying to establish that this titular character, the angry black girl, I think her name was Vicaria, um, played by this wonderful young actress whose name is escaping me right now, which is pretty bad. But I mean, she brought her A game, right? She worked with the script that she had, and the story is pretty much an urban Frankenstein monsters update. And what I've learned about this movie and what I'm learning about a lot of movies being remade and redone is a lot of those older stories just don't hold up anymore, right? The story of Frankenstein for its time was very edgy and is an allegory for, a lot of social issues when it was written. And this movie, of course, set in an urban environment, set in a gang, infested neighborhood of wherever they were. Could have been Detroit, could have been LA. I don't know. I don't think they ever said, but it just, this young girl, her brother gets brutally murdered, and she takes the body and she tries to bring him back, right? The whole theme of this movie is death and how, grief, how death affects us all. And her idea is that she can cure death, right? She can cure death by bringing her brother back, and she brings him back, and her brother just goes and does what any mindless zombie or any mindless Frankenstein would do. He goes and fucks shit up, right? He's beating people to death. He's choking people, because he doesn't have brain function, right? I don't know where maybe it's humans' innate urge to hurt. I don't know where it comes from, but he goes around and he kills a lot of things. And I think the budget of this movie hurt it. I think, had this had been, made for a bigger budget, I think we could have gotten a lot better of a set piece, a lot better of a movie. But they did what they did with the budget that they had, and they made a really compelling movie, right? I enjoyed it. The characters, while some very heavy-handed, right, they really brought that angry black girl out on screen. I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. I don't enjoy the story of Frankenstein. I really never have. But putting it in an urban sense, right, with a lot of different, with gang violence, with drug violence, kind of putting it in that setting, it just worked. It worked for the budget that they had. It was written and directed by Bomani Story. I think this is the first time I've ever heard that name. This is the first time writer, first time director. And he did really well. I think given a bigger budget, given more leeway to make a more creative, make more risk, take more risk. I think this could have been a better movie. For what it's worth, it is a good movie. It's a solid movie, and definitely we want to highlight these black young filmmakers. So You know, go out there, rent, buy the Angry Girl and Her Monster, so that this young filmmaker can make bigger and better movies, right? Gets those bigger budgets. You know, I mean, that's what we need to do. We need to support. It's a solid movie. It's a good movie. It just needs a little more polish. And I mean, in all honesty, the cinematography was great. It was just set in such a claustrophobic setting because, you know, they just shot in a few different locations and it felt claustrophobic. It felt very small and in scope because of how it was shot, where it was shot. The location was very closed in. It felt like everything happened in a very small vacuum. And I think if they would have expanded, I think that could have really expanded on the story with the monster getting out and kind of creating a lot more trouble outside of his small neighborhood. But we definitely got to support our young black filmmakers so that they can go out there and get those bigger budget films, get the bigger budget so they can make bigger scoped movies. But Angry Girl and Her Monster, the Angry Black Girl and Her Monster, definitely check that out this weekend. It is streaming. I'm urging everybody to rent, buy the movie, and just support our young black filmmakers. It's definitely worth it.